welcome you on Brookdale TV. Brian Goudsworth here with you. It's the Jersey Blues and the Middlesex Blue Colts. About ready for the first pitch to be thrown by Jeffrey Barham for the Jersey Blues. And Brett Lukacek leads it off for Middlesex. Barham ready at the stretch, and here's his first pitch of the ball game, and it's low outside, ball one, we're underway. Only about 50 degrees at game time with a pretty significant wind. So again, these teams will be competing with the elements. And pitch pops in over the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Lukaceks to get it started for the Blue Colts. Brett is the leadoff hitter. Drew batting next. And then Ryan Acquisto, the first baseman. Good breaking ball, and it finds the outside part of the plate. 1-2. And now Barham ready to deal. Missed with it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The original Brookdale lineup today had Tyler Spencer penciled in as the starting pitcher. As it's hit on the ground to the left side, big hop for Nunez, who gathers it in, throws, and it can't be dug out by Kernan at first. And that's the first base runner of the game as Lukacek reaches. So Nunez spiked the throw. Kernan couldn't dig it out, and the Blue Colts get the first man on. Drew Lukacek is next. He's the second baseman. The Lukaceks, who are from Woodbridge, New Jersey. It's where they played their high school ball. And the first one bounces in the dirt, blocked by Andrews, ball 1. And let's take a look at how Brookdale lines up defensively. In the outfield, Pizzuti, Sheehan, and Gardner from left to right. On the infield, it's Nunez and Lopez on the left side with Martino and Kernan on the right side. And Shane Andrews doing the catching. And he catches one low outside, 2-0. Both of the Lukaceks enter the day with batting averages better than 400. For Drew, it is at 414. Lead off first, and the pitch to the plate is about knee-high, a strike called. Jared Haynes is calling the balls and strikes. Ben DiCostanzo is the umpire on the bases, positioned between first and second. And another strike, 2-2 the count. And Drew Lukacek, 17 runs batted in without a home run. Two pitch. In the air, foul. This was relatively lengthy at bat. Continues with Ryan Acquisto waiting on deck for Middlesex. Team that comes in second place in the standings, 17-5. Very impressive record for both of these teams today. And it's hit high in the air, medium depth right field. Casey Gardner waiting for it to come down, and he makes the catch as the runner Lukacek, Brett, retreats back to first, and the first out of the day. And now Ryan Acquisto. This is the power bat in the Blue Colts order. Batting average is .514. He's up among the league leaders in that category. Batting from the right side, and he attacks the first one, fouls it straight back to the fence. Strike 1. 5 home runs for the season. That's tops on the club. RBI number at 43 not only leads the team, but all of the region. So he's had himself an impressive first month plus. Barham paying attention to Brett Lukacek, putting a pretty good lead. He goes. Pitch is a strike, and there's no throw. So a stolen base is the team's 89th of the season. They've been caught 12 times, so they have a success rate near 90% on the base paths. And this ball's driven. Left center field, cutting across. Declan Sheehan stumbles down and able to make the catch. Tagging the runner goes to third. That's Lukacek. So a nice play in center made by Sheehan off the hard liner from Acquisto, 2 out. They're going to appeal to second, and the call is safe. Check to see if Brett got a head start. It looked like it was close. The other runner at third, 2 out. Middlesex batting top of the first, no score. Barham next will face Angel Deaza. He's the DH, and he waves and misses. Looked like an off-speed pitch. 0-1. Deaza's a .426 batter, and he's a threat to hit one out. 2 home runs this year with 23 knocked in. And that went in the dirt, and Andrews able to keep it in front. These are 2 heavy swinging teams. And there could be a whole lot of runs score. That's been the way it's gone for these teams throughout the season. Just about every game. Slowly hit foul up the line. Spencer originally slated to start, but he was pushed back. He'll go in the doubleheader tomorrow. These teams starting a 3-game series, 1 today, 2 tomorrow on the road. And this one's hit on the ground. Good snag by the second baseman Martino, and the throw in time to get him. And the Blue Colts waste their leadoff base runner. Brookdale coming up in the bottom of the first with no score. Justin Lopez ready to get it started for Brookdale. Brian Gadsworth on Brookdale TV. No score in the game. Jacob Anderson takes the mound for the Blue Colts, and he winds up his first pitch, and it's a fastball that's off the inside corner, 1-0. Lopez, Anthony Pizzuti, and Shane Andrews in the opening inning. And that rides high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Lopez. A .333 batter looking for his first home run. He cuts and misses. 2 balls and a strike. And I should correct that. He has hit a home run this year. We saw it earlier in the season. 3 balls and a strike. Pizzuti on deck. He definitely has hit a home run. 5 of them this year. That's foul back and a full count. 50 degrees today, but the wind making it feel a bit chillier than that. Still doesn't feel much like spring, even though spring has officially begun. As here's the pitch. On the ground behind the bag, and the first baseman Acquisto able to take it himself, and Lopez retired, 1 man away. So here's Pizzuti, Brookdale's leading home run hitter, 5 for the season. And a batting average that's better than 500. Breaking ball snaps in for a called strike. One and one. Most of Pizzuti's power come early in the season, the first couple of weeks. And that breaking ball, another one that finds the strike zone. 1-2. Jacob Anderson, he is a strikeout pitcher. Deals 1-2. Line to right, and that ball is down, going down the line. A base hit and maybe more. Pizzuti trying for 2, and he'll make it a double. So Brookdale looking to score first. They got Andrews coming up. Comes in a .490 batter with 18 RBIs. He's more than doubled his home run output from last season. And the first one bounces. A good stop by Myers to prevent any advance from the base runner, Pizzuti. Andrews has mixed in a couple of triples this year, too. He's had the extra base hit stroke working. And that misses a little bit low. Brookdale coming from a game in Bucks County that they doubled up the Bucks team 16-8 the final the day before last. And a big cut and a miss, 2-1. And their first two losses of the season previously, their last appearance here at home against Northampton, swept in a doubleheader. Fastball misses, 3-1 the count. Started the year with 12 wins before their first loss against those Spartans. Second game of that doubleheader was a game that got away. There's a good breaking ball. Had a big lead in that game, but ended up falling a run short, 13-12 in a high-scoring affair. Here's a payoff pitch, and it's in the dirt, and Andrews will head down to first with a walk. And Malik Little will be the batter, designated hitter for Brookdale today, as he has been in most of his appearances in the lineup. 2 on base, and Little takes a fastball strike. And now it's 0-2. Anderson, who has a 3.93 ERA across 18 1/3 innings. A few more walks than he'd like, 12 of them, but he struck out 26. That's better than 1 per inning. And this is in the dirt, 1-2 the count. Sophomore right-hander. There's 2 on base to deal with as he sets and deals. Little rifles one left field, going back and can't make the catch for Drury. Around third comes Pizzuti trying to score. He will easily. Here comes Andrews to the plate, and he's in. It's a 2-run double for Malik Little. It just got over Drury's head and left, and Brookdale add to a 2-0 lead. So Junior Nunez stands in now, the starter at third base today. And he looks at a breaking ball strike. Nunez, who comes in the top 5 in the region in batting, better than 500. He and Pizzuti both over that figure. And he's quickly in an 0-2 hole as the wind begins to pick up here at McLaughlin Field. 2-0 Brookdale, only 1 out, runner in scoring position. Long look in. And now home with the pitch upstairs. It's a .533 average for Nunez with 10 runs batted in. Check the runner. And Nunez able to get a piece of that breaking ball. R.J. Kernan awaits in the on-deck circle. And the next delivery. Lined past the shortstop Ledesma in the left. Around third Little. He comes to the plate. He will score. RBI hit Junior Nunez, the third run on the board in the opening inning, and it's 3-0. So 4 straight Jersey Blues have reached. 3 hits and a walk, and now Kernan. Strike 1 swinging. Kernan had one of a couple bases clearing hits for the Jersey Blues in the game yesterday, the win at Bucks. 1-1.
Turn it, let's go.
Martino had the other, and he is now the on-deck batter. 1-1 pitch. 2-1. So Brookdale has scored 3 against a pretty tough pitcher. Anderson, one of the Blue Colts' best. Gets that fastball over, and it's 2-2. High in the air, not very deep. Center field, Friedman in left center makes the one-hand catch, and retreating back to first goes Nunez. So there are 2 out. And that'll bring up Martino. And the other 3 RBI hit in a game in which Brookdale scored 16 runs, called a strike, which for them is just an average day. I mean, they score 10-plus runs with regularity. Ball and strike.
Come on, you get that, bro.
In fact, out of 15 games, they've scored in double digits in 12 of them. Runner in motion, pitch a strike. Good throw on the money, and got him to end the inning. But 3 runs across go to the second. Brookdale leads Middlesex 3-0. Top of the second inning, Brookdale has a 3-0 lead, and that's what Jeff Barham now working with on the mound as he's set. And his first pitch of the second inning is over for a strike. Joshua Rodriguez leading off for the Blue Colts. So they send up 5, 6, and 7 in the order. That's a foul ball or fair? Home plate umpire says fair, and so it's an infield hit, one that Rodriguez barely touched. Looked like it may have even hit his foot in the box, but he's at first base. That's how the Blue Colts pick up their first hit of the game, and now it's Joavin Ledesma. And he takes one a little bit high, 1-0. Middlesex shortstop is atop the leaderboard in stolen bases. Across the region, he has stolen 26. Andrews thinks about a throw. 2-0 the count. And the offensive numbers are pretty good, batting .377 with 17 RBIs, as Barham's now behind him 3-0. No homers for Ledesma. But if he gets on base, you can be sure he's going to look to run. And one pitch away from putting him on a free pass. And he does just that, a 4-pitch walk. So that'll bring in Connor Drury. Chance for Middlesex to get right back in. Drury representing the tying run early in this game, top of the second. Brookdale leading 3-0. First baseman Kernan creeping in, expecting a bunt. He squares, pulls back to strike. Throw goes to second, now to third, and out. So they got Rodriguez hung up, and he gets taken off the bases. Andrews threw to second, no one was there, and then they get the tag out at third. So 1 out, Ledesma the base runner at first. And Drury takes a strike called, 0-2. That's a big out. Anytime you can get a free out on the bases against a team with this much firepower like Middlesex. 0-2. Runner goes. Drury with a check swing, and the stolen base successful for Ledesma. So right on cue, there he goes. 27 steals now, which is 11 more than any other player in the region. So he's now in scoring position. Next from Barham is just off the corner. Andrews trying to frame it, and it's gone from 0-2 to a full count. So we'll see if Ledesma is inclined to run again on what will be a payoff pitch from the righty. He stays put. Pitch is swung and missed. Strike 3. Andrews applies the tag, and there are 2 out. First strikeout for Barham. And Trevor Myers, the catcher, right-hand hitter. And he takes strike 1 called. Myers batting .294. Has 1 home run, 12 knocked in. Trying to cash a 2-out run for his team. And he hits it sharply. Grabbed on a hop by the shortstop, Lopez. He guns to first in time. A terrific play. That takes a hit away from Myers and maybe a run. Middle of the second, Brookdale up 3-0. Lower third of the order due up for Brookdale. They lead 3-0. And Anthony Martino to started. He was at the plate when the final out of the inning was made on the bases. A caught stealing. He sends a pop-up middle of the infield. Who's going to take it? It's the shortstop, Ledesma. Secures it with 2 hands, and on 1 pitch, Martino, the first out. Nunez was caught stealing to end the first, but Brookdale able to plate 3 before that. Here's Casey Gardner. 0-1. And the bottom part of the order for Brookdale has been very effective. The likes of Gardner and Sheehan making strong contributions. Ball and 2 strikes. Gardner batting .375. 9 runs batted in for the freshman. And he goes down swinging, and there are 2 out. So the first strikeout for Jacob Anderson, looking for a bounce-back inning. He was tagged for 3, and he's got the first 2 out here. And Declan Sheehan with nobody on base. Fastball misses, 1-0. Sheehan has apparently changed his number. 'Cause it was 55 and now 32. Brookdale wearing the white uniforms, first that we've seen of them. Hard shot in the left, that's in for a base hit. They'll take the turnaround first and hold with a 2-out single. So that gets Lopez to the plate for a second time in 2 innings. Granted, had 3 unassisted last time up. And he bounces one, taking off for second. Sheehan, throw is a good one, but not quite in time. And it looks like got an injured blue Colt on that tag. It's Drew Lukacek, the second baseman. On a collision with Lopez at second base. They'll go ahead and check on him. And they'll try to walk off any discomfort. Head coach Christopher Mooney had to check on him, but he heads back for the dugout. So Lopez, who we saw make one sparkling play in the field on a one-hop smash to short, saved a potential run. Now in his second at bat, with strike one called to even the count. 3-0 Brookdale, bottom of the second. To right field, but right at him, and that's Brett Lukacek to squeeze it and end the inning. Hard hit ball, but Brookdale turned aside. A single, one left after 2, 3-0. I'm Brian Goudsworth. This is Brookdale TV. We start the 3rd inning. Brookdale leading Middlesex 3-0. Blue Colts sending up 9, 1 and 2 in the order as Jeff Barham starts his 3rd inning of mound work. And the first one goes to the backstop, getting away from Andrews, 1-0. Antonio Friedman leading off. He's the center fielder, and the Lukaceks batting behind him. Just one hit through the first 2 against Barham. And that one about head high and out of the zone, 2-0. On the outside part of the plate.
Come on, Tony. Come on, bro.
High drive to left, but not all that deep, although the wind gets a hold of it, and it's not caught. Pizzuti had it drift on him, put the glove up, and did not make the catch. So Friedman ends up at second base to start the inning with a wind-blown double.
Hey, Brett, come on, young man. Come on, young man.
So back to the top of the order, Brett Lukacek, who reached on Junior Nunez's throwing error at third, leading off the ball game, but was stranded. Left-hand hitter, leadoff man in scoring position. Barham checks on him, home with the pitch, 1-0.
This is you, Brett. This is you, Brett.
And the Lukaceks were in the middle of everything for Middlesex in their last game, also on Wednesday. They beat Delaware County 9-4. Held the swing, or he did not. It's a strike.
No. Gotta see that better than that.
Lukaceks between them had 4 hits and 4 runs scored, a couple of RBIs. Batting the top 2 spots in the order. On a 1-1.
Give it a ride, Brett. Give it a ride like you do.
Off the end of the bat and goes off the visiting dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Barham has put some runners on, but been able to work around any traffic to this point. Try to keep that up, but he's gone to a full count. Drew Lukacek is next. Nobody out in the inning. Brookdale with a 3-0 lead. And the payoff pitch. Bounce toward first. Kernan gets to it. Flips to the pitcher Barham covering. That'll advance the runner. Friedman now to third, and there's 1 away. So 3-1 on the putout. And it brings in Drew Lukacek, 0 for 1 with a fly to right. Middle infield back. And 1-0.
You can do it, Drew. You can do it, Drew.
Looks like Brookdale will opt to concede the run on a ground ball. There's a good off-speed pitch to even the count. One and two. Barham has struck out 1. This is a good spot for another, with the dangerous Acquisto waiting next. 1 out the inning, runner at third. 1-2 home. Check the swing. Did he hold it in time? He did. The appeal down at the base umpire. Andrew supplied the tag just in case, but Lukacek able to hang in. 2-2 upcoming. And it's out to right field. Casey Gardner has it lined up, makes the catch. Tagging at third, Friedman. He comes to the plate and scores. Sacrifice fly Drew Lukacek to get the Blue Colts on the board. It's now 3-1. And here's Acquisto. First baseman was retired, hit it hard, but line drive to left center field that was caught. 1-0. For the player leading the region in runs batted in, and by a fairly wide margin, 43 of them. I'll be contending with him over the next couple of days. Lifts one high in the air, foul territory. Kernan has it. And the inning over. Middlesex scores 1. We're middle of the third. 3-1 Brookdale. Home third inning. Brookdale 3, Middlesex 1. Anthony Pizzuti, first man up for the Jersey Blues, and is hit by the pitch. So the first pitch thrown from Anderson of the inning gets Pizzuti, and on to first he goes. So Shane Andrews worked to walk his first time up, scored. Lead off, runner off first base, and fastball for ball 1. It's just hard to keep this Brookdale lineup down for too long, and there you got another hit by pitch, and that's putting yourself in a tough spot. Back-to-back hit batsmen to start the inning. It's one way to approach two best hitters in the lineup, just plunk them. And Malik Little will be next. His double produced 2 runs back in the first inning. Got Brookdale off and running. They've scored 1 more since and hold a 3-1 lead. 2 on, no 1 out. And Little waves and misses at first pitch, 0-1. Little is one of several Jersey Blues in double figures in the RBI category. Playing their 16th game of the year, and he's down in the count, 0-2. And Anderson deals the next one. On the ground left side, third baseman Rodriguez will take the out at third, and that's it. So the fielder's choice goes 3 unassisted, or 5 unassisted. That takes Pizzuti off the bases. A Little now at first. Junior Nunez base hit his first time up. Fastball strike. So the positive was the single, the negative was the caught stealing. Brookdale hasn't been caught very often. Ball and a strike. And this is away, 2-1. RJ Kernan waiting on deck. And Nunez lays off a pitch in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Andrews is at second with Little at first. And a 3-1. A strike to fill it up.
Make the play. Make the play. Let's go, fellas.
One strikeout so far for the right-hander, who has averaged better than a strikeout per inning. And he'll come with the payoff. Nunez swings and misses, and there's strikeout number 2 on a foul tip. So 2 out in the inning. And it'll be Kernan. Still hoping not to waste an inning in which they put the first 2 on hit batsmen. Kernan takes one off the outside edge, 1-0. Too far off the inside. Kernan 0 for 1, fly out to center field his first time up. That was in the first. And a hitter's count with a couple on base. He swings and taps it at the plate, foul. Three-1 Brookdale as they bat bottom of the third. Will play as long as 9 innings today. There's a breaking ball that snaps in. That had some wicked movement. Two and two the count with the wind rippling up through the players' uniforms. A blustery day out there. The pitch is swung and missed for strike 3. Myers tags out Kernan. Strikeout ends the inning, so Brookdale gets the first 2 on and leave him stranded. We'll head to the 4th. It's 3-1. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. Brookdale leading 3-1. Angel Deaza leading it off for the Blue Colts against Barham, who's set at the stretch. And the first pitch is low outside, 1-0. Middle of the order due up, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Middlesex down by 2. Deaza was the DH in their lineup. And it's 2-0. Grounded out to second base his first time. A run on a couple of hits so far for the Blue Colts. Barham behind in the count. And just missed 3-0. Joshua Rodriguez and Joelvin Ledesma to follow in the inning. Cool day for baseball today. Not very spring-like. Taking all the way a strike. Conference matchup to start off this 3-game series. And that went off the bat. Diaz looked a bit disappointed. Pitch looked like it would have been out of the strike zone. Instead, a full count. So it'll be a payoff pitch to start the inning. And Diaz takes strike 3 called. So he's rung up after a 3-0 count. Barham comes back to get him, 1 away. And Joshua Rodriguez to stand in. Had a base at his first time up in the second. 1 out, base is clear. And he checked the swing on a pitch out of the zone, 1-0. Rodriguez, 20 RBIs for this season, which is a pretty good total, but it's only 3rd on the team. And he lifts one high in the air. Foul ground. Over comes Nunez, hoping for a play, and he has one. Has it in the glove. There are 2 out. So Barham looking to finish a 1-2-3. It would be his first. Joelvin Ledesma standing in the way. Drew a walk his first time up and stole his 26th bag. Strike 1 called. And he bails out on a pitch out of the strike zone. Sharply hit, but there is Lopez to spin and throw in a good one to get him and end the inning. They go 1-2-3 in the 4th to the bottom of the 4th. Brookdale 3, Middlesex 1. Anthony Martino to lead it off. We start the home 4th inning. Brookdale in front by a couple. And the first pitch is a fastball high, 1-0. Martino, Gardner, and Sheehan for the Jersey Blues, who've scored 3 runs on 4 hits. Last inning had a couple batters plunked but did not score. There's a strike. 0 for 1 with a pop bat to short is Martino. Swings and hits it right back to the mound. There's Anderson to gather it in and flip. 1 away. And Casey Gardner struck out his first time up. 1-0. 3 strikeouts for Anderson so far, who averages better than 1 per inning. This ball is out into right center field, carrying, and it lands back toward the fence. Gardner to second, takes the turn, heading for third, and he'll make it easily. A triple. Off the bat, couldn't quite see where that ball was headed and got up in the wind and just kept going, and Gardner ends up at third. So the 5th Brookdale hit. Get Declan Sheehan to the plate. Anderson will go from the full wind. Infield comes in, and it sneaks past the second baseman into right. That'll bring in a run. Gardner scores. Sheehan with a drawn-in infield gets a base hit into right to make it 4-1. Let's start the third time through. Justin Lopez, 1-0. He's 0 for 2 in the game so far. Grandad to first, a liner to right field. And the liner right on the nose, but right at Lukacek. Fastball runs off the inside corner. He's also made a couple of fine plays at shortstop. One a nice pick, another spinning throw. And it is ball 3 without a strike. Well, they've scored a run quickly in the inning. Gardner's triple, 1 pitch later. Sheehan sneaks one through, lead back to 3 runs, called a strike. And ball 4. We'll get Brookdale a second base runner. So Lopez reaches for the first time. Now Pizzuti's already reached twice. He's had a double and been hit by a pitch. Power threat at the plate. And he hits one on the ground towards short, shuffling over Ledesma. Has it. Long throw. Safe. As Pizzuti beats the wrap. Close play, and Brookdale has him loaded up. So they're loaded with 1 out. And Shane Andrews, who's reached base twice without a hit. He's walked and been hit by a pitch, scored 1. And fastball nearly got him as he had to vacate the batter's box. They're in at the corners, middle infield hoping to turn 2 and get Anderson out of this mess. He deals from the wind. Andrews fouls it off to the right. It's the sophomore leader of the team. He is a rock behind the plate and at the plate where he's hit by a pitch. The third that Anderson has plunked, and this one costs him a run. Sheehan scores as the bases remain loaded, and now it's 5-1. So Andrews has been hit in back-to-back plate appearances. The 2 and 3 hitters have been hit 3 times between them. Malik Little, they're still loaded, and ball 1. Little 1 for 2, double that scored 2 back in the first, granted into a fielder's choice as last time. Here's a knee-high strike. Lopez, Pizzuti, and Andrews filling up the bases, already 2 runs in. Brookdale has doubled the lead in the inning from 2 runs now to 4. Anderson's next delivery is taken. It squirts away. Here's a run trying to score, and safe. As Lopez beats the play at the plate. The tag try from Anderson. And Brookdale gets a 3rd run in the inning. The lead is now 5 runs. Pizzuti takes 3rd. Andrews remains at 1st. A 3-1 count on Little. As Anderson now going from the stretch. His pitch is hit right back to him. He knocks it down. Gets the out. No, he throws it away. It was off the mark on the throw to second. Everybody is safe. So what could have been a double play turns into nobody out. So they're reloaded. Junior Nunez 1 for 2. 1-0. That was a play that could have gotten Anderson out of the inning. Instead, he remains with a bases loaded jam and only 1 out, facing a batter hitting better than 500. And now 2-0. Back working from the full windup. The next pitch down the right field line. It'll be foul. Good swing by Nunez. Extra base hit would get the merry-round going. Brookdale already leading by 5, 6-1. Bounced it foul. Two-two pitch. Out of play. Nunez just works good at bat after good at bat. So you get to have a batting average as high as he has. It'll be another 2-2 from Anderson. And off the glove, Anderson finds it. Barehand pickup, he'll get the out to end the inning. But Brookdale scores the second out of the inning. And a run scores on the play to make it 7-1. Now a strike on a foul ball from R.J. Kernan, so they batted around in the inning. Line to right, that's a base hit. Another run coming in to score. Andrews scores. Little being waved around. There's no play at the plate, and it's 9-1. So yet another big inning. Martino will be the 10th to bat. He's looking for his first hit, gone 0 for his first 2, strike 1 called. He's popped to short and hit a comebacker. Lone runner now at first base. 1-1. On the ground, third baseman Rodriguez makes the long throw across the diamond, and that will end the inning. But not before 10 come to bat. Brookdale scores 6 times. They'll carry a 9-1 lead to the 5th. Top of the 5th inning, Middlesex now finds themselves in a big hole. Brookdale leading 9-1. Connor Drury will lead it off for the Blue Colts, who send the lower third of the order up against Jeff Barham. And the first one is cut and miss, strike 1. Drury, Trevor Myers, and Antonio Friedman in this inning. Middlesex only run back in the third. They've had just 2 hits. Drury was a strikeout victim of Barham's back in the second. 1 of 2 for the right-hander, who deals the next pitch, and it's a strike. Two balls and 2 strikes. Well, an 8-run lead is pretty considerable, but this is a Middlesex team that can score. So you don't want to get too comfortable. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch, and it's gone to a full count. Middlesex has had a lot of games like Brookdale with high run totals, both for and opponent. I was reaching for one out of the strike zone, and he's the first out of the inning. 1 out. And that'll bring up Trevor Myers. Who hits a pop-up on the infield, middle of the diamond. Second baseman Martino to the right of the bag makes the catch. Quickly, there are 2 down. So Barham handed a big lead of 8 runs, has retired the first 2 in short order, and now it'll be Antonio Friedman. Number 9 hitter in the order had a double his first time up and scored the only Blue Colts run. And he keeps this inning going with a base hit to right field, so he's now 2 for 2. And back to the top of the order, Brett Lukacek. Hit the ball on the ground twice, 0 for 2. Once he reached on an error. Nunez spiked the throw. Here's a little tapper to the right side. Kernan will go to second, and that's that. A single one left, middle of the 5th. Brookdale 9, Middlesex 1. Casey Gardner leads it off for the Jersey Blues. I'm Brian Goudsworth on Brookdale TV. We'll face a new pitcher for Middlesex as the right-hander Anthony Singh takes over, and his first delivery is off the plate, 1-0. 8-9-1 due up on another big offensive day. Brookdale, who has scored 9 with plenty more time to add to it. That one nearly behind him and hit him in the leg. Another hit by pitch. As the 4th issued by Blue Colts pitching. Andrews has been the beneficiary of 2. So Declan Sheehan hasn't been hit by a pitch. He just has a couple of standard base hits. 2 for 2. I'm not sure when the number changed, but if it's today is the first time, it's done him well. 2-0. So the starter, Jacob Anderson, out after going 4 innings, charged with 9 runs. He gave up 8 hits, walked 1, struck out 3, and hit 3 batters. Runner goes, and another hit by pitch. Well, this has to be the most hit batters in some time. 2 innings today that Brookdale has started with back-to-back hit batsmen. So here's Lopez. He hasn't been hit, but he walked once. And he shows bunt, gets it down, but foul up the line. He would have had a hit if that had been a fair ball. So the first 2 on for Brookdale, poised to make it another double-digit run output. It would be their 13th time in 16 games, and pretty remarkable. Lopez ready to sacrifice, now pulls it back and hits a ground ball to second that gets knocked down by Lukacek, and he recovers in time. So he bobbled it initially, dealing with Lopez's speed, and got him by less than a step. So 1 out, 2 in scoring position for one of Brookdale's leading RBI men, Pizzuti. Been on base 3 times already, a couple of hits. Middlesex forced to bring the infield in, already a deficit of 8 runs. Two and 0. He's singled, doubled, and been one of the many hit by pitch. He swings and cranks one center field. It'll stay in the yard for Antonio Friedman if he can find it, and he has no idea where it is, and it's gone. So Friedman didn't go back on that ball. I don't think he had any idea where it was, and it sailed over the fence. A 3-run homer. And make it 12-1. So they've hit at least 17 home runs now as a team. Shane Andrews next after they retrieve that loose baseball. 12-1, another rout. Singh winds up the first one. Andrews takes ball one. The Brookdale catcher has reached 3 times without a hit, a walk, and been hit twice. One and one. Singh will get a new baseball from Jared Haynes. Singh, who came in with an ERA over 9, and that's not a good recipe going against Brookdale. Put himself in trouble in the inning with a couple hit batsmen, and Pizzuti cleaned him up. 2 balls and a strike. Andrews has scored a pair of runs in the game. Reached for and fouled. Malik Little on deck. 2-2. To third. Rodriguez gives some ground. Does he have time? He does not. And Andrews reaches. That was going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Andrews has above average speed for a catcher, and he legs it out. So Malik Little. A double in 3 trips. Reached on an error his last time. It could have been a double play, but pitcher Jacob Anderson threw wide to second, and no out was recorded on the play. Not allowed another Brookdale run to score, and they're running away with this game, a 12-1 lead. These teams met 4 times a season ago, and Brookdale had the upper hand in all 4. A couple of blowouts. 22-9 the first game. They swept the doubleheader here at home. Beat Middlesex in postseason play. It's one of the better teams in the region, but they've been no match. Ahead of Brookdale in the standings as they start play today, 17-5. They're in second. Brookdale just behind in third. Well, that's wide. 3 balls and a strike. Off the top of the fence. And this is the first of 3 meetings on this season. They meet twice tomorrow in a doubleheader. Should be a little bit warmer in the low 60s tomorrow as they travel to Middlesex. Popped up. Rodriguez onto the grass, drifting, stumbling, and did he make the catch? He did. So again, the wind getting a hold of it. Rodriguez able to stay with the play to retire Little. So 2 out, runner at first, and Nunez. 1 for 3 in the game. Brookdale leading 12-1. And they've added 3 more in the inning on 1 swing. Pizzuti's 3-run homer that off the bat, judging by the center fielder's reaction, I thought was a fly ball right to him, and next thing you know, it's over the fence. There's a strike. I mean, Friedman did not break back even a single step on a ball that cleared the fence. on the corner. Nunez trying to keep the inning going for R.J. Kernan, waiting next. Brookdale has plenty of runs of insurance. This one could be done after 7 innings. A strikeout will wrap up the inning, but they add 3 on Pizzuti's blast. We take this one to the 6th. It's 12-1. 12-1 Brookdale. We start the 6th inning on Brian Goudsward, and it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Blue Colts. Drew Lukacek to lead it off. Jeffrey Barham still working, has had a fine outing today on the mound, and his first pitch is off the inside corner, 1-0. Lukacek has twice flied to right field, once to drive in a run on a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd. And that's the only run that Middlesex has scored. On the ground at 3rd, Nunez is there to scoop it up, take his time, and throw in time. 1 man away. Middlesex have had plenty of big run totals, but they've been held down today, just 1. Ryan Acquisto, their big bat, 0 for 2. A line out and a foul out to the first baseman. 1 out, base is clear, and an 11-run Brookdale lead, and breaking balls in for a strike. So we could be done after 7 innings if this score holds, by virtue of the mercy rule. Bouncing ball, shortstop Lopez throws in time to get Acquisto a couple of ground ball outs to start the 6th. 2 away. So Barham rolling right along through the tough part of the order. Cleanup hitter, Angel Deaza, 0 for 2. Called out on strikes his last time. And it's certainly encouraging to get a big-time pitching outing from Brookdale, especially against a high-powered lineup like Middlesex. 1-1. Because while the offense has been there all season, the pitching staff has an ERA over 5, and I think they'd like to get that down a bit. Strike 2. In fact, both of these teams kind of mirror each other in that they're great offensive teams that have struggled a bit on the mound. Ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3, got him with a breaking ball, and Barham finishes off a 1-2-3 6th inning. Brookdale rolling with a 12-1 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning, Brookdale leading Middlesex by a 12-1 score. New battery for the Blue Colts as the pitch is a strike. The new pitcher is the right-hander Michael Canavesio. The new catcher taking over Jake Gracie. And Kernan hits a pop-up, foul territory. Gracie immediately tested, and it goes off his glove. The starter, Jacob Anderson, went 4. Anthony Singh got touched up for 3 runs on Pizzuti's home run in his 1 inning, and now Canavesio in mop-up duty. Gets Kernan on strikes. And that's the first out in the home sixth. And Anthony Martino will be the batter. Hasn't participated in the big offensive day. Hitless in 3 trips. 0-1. He has popped out and grounded out twice. After a big hit in yesterday's game, scored 3, part of a 16-run Brookdale performance. And they've added 12 more today against a team they're chasing in the standings. Lashed foul, right side. It could be Brookdale's final turn at bat of the day if they hold a 10-plus run lead after the top of the 7th. This one would be official. And the team's all ready to make the trip up the Parkway and play 2 tomorrow on Middlesex's home field. Here's a shot, base hit, left center field, and Anthony Martino salvages his day with a hit. And Casey Gardner will step to the plate, had a 3-bagger back in the 4th, scored. Hit by pitches next time, and also scored. On base twice out of 3 times. Ball and strike. This is one of 8 games on the Region 19 slate for a Friday afternoon. A couple of them that start a little bit later on. It's a busy day across the region as the runner takes off. Gardner with a swing and miss and an easy steal from Martino. So it's a big weekend in college sports in general with the NCAA tournament now in full swing. One and 2 to Gardner. 1 out, runner in scoring position. And a high pop. Right side, foul ground, and handled by Acquisto for the 2nd out. And Declan Sheehan continues to set the pace at the bottom spot in the order. 3 times on base, 2 singles, and a hit by pitch. There have been plenty of hit by pitches in this game. Here's a swing back toward the middle. It goes through for a base hit. Around third comes Martino. He will score easily. Run number 13 on the board as Declan Sheehan has a 3-hit day, and it's 13-1. Justin Lopez, 0 for 3 with a walk today, scored a run back in the 4th. And looks at a strike. Let's see, how many spots in the order do not have a hit? And the answer is only the leadoff spot. Lopez looking to change that. Ball and a strike. Of course, Brookdale has had games this year where they've had hits from every spot in the order. Of course, we saw a game here, too, in which they scored 14 runs in a single inning. Lofted center field. Can they find this one? It is dropped in right center field. I mean, it's a bit windy, but there have been some fly balls that somehow have not been caught. So I don't know if you give Lopez credit for a hit there, but he ends up at second base. Anthony Pizzuti, they can't keep off the bases today. He's reached all 4 times. Biggest swing is last time. Takes a strike. His home run that if we showed the replay, you would find that the center fielder Friedman did not move an inch. I think it fooled everyone when it had enough juice to clear the fence. And it scored 3 more runs. 13-1 now after 1 more run in this inning. They can finish it off in the top of the 7th. Pizzuti goes after one out of the strike zone. Sheen and Lopez are both on. The Brookdale lead is 12 runs. And a 1-2. Swing and a miss. He goes after another bad one. Gracie will throw to first to complete the putout. And that'll end the inning. But they add 1 and take this one to the 7th. They can close it out 3 outs away. 13-1. Last chance for Middlesex. They're down by 12. 13-1, the Brookdale lead. Jeff Barham looking to finish off a complete game effort. And his first pitch to Josh Rodriguez is stung over the bag at third. That's fair. Going down the line, Rodriguez will stop with a leadoff single. So he's now 2 for 3 in the game. And Joelvin Ledesma will be the batter. Shortstop is 0 for 1 with a walk. And he takes a strike. Barham has kept the Middlesex bats down in this game, only allowed 1 run, and plenty of support behind him. In the dirt, Andrews able to pounce on it quickly. Now Middlesex in danger of seeing their 4-game winning streak come to a close. There's a strike, a ball and 2 strikes. Middlesex will need to score 3 in the inning to keep this one going. Otherwise, the mercy rule ends it. Here's the pitch. He held the swing in time, just off the corner. 2-2. Connor Drury waits next. And Barham delivers a full count. And that's ball 4, so the first 2 have reached in the inning. And Connor Drury will step to the plate. It's been a no-contact day for him. Up twice, couple of strikeouts, but we're going to get a visit at the mound. Johnny Johnson on his way out. And this is the first mound conference all game long. We'll see if this leads to a pitching change. Johnny was closing in on a milestone win record that would make him the winningest coach in Brookdale history. On the baseball side, that is. They're going to stick with Barham. Drury up twice, struck out both times. 2 on, no one out, and a 13-1 Brookdale lead. Flied out of play. Blue Colts last year a 35-win season, off to a very strong start here. 12 games over 500, but they've been outmatched. This pitch misses down low. They played a good handful of games down in Myrtle Beach while the weather was cold. Brookdale didn't get to enjoy that this time. Bouncer foul. And I would imagine it was considerably warmer down there than it is here, where it's only about 50 degrees. Next from Barham to Drury. It takes and it sits a bit high. On-deck batter, Trevor Myers. Actually, it'll be a pinch hitter as they changed catchers in the last inning, so Gracie to take the turn at bat. Next pitch. And a full count. Another one. With Rodriguez and Ledesma on the base paths. And the payoff pitch home is off the inside, ball 4 to load him up. So a single and 2 walks, and that probably is going to be the end of the line, and it is. So Jeff Barham's bid for a complete game will come up short. He'll go 6 innings plus, and Brookdale will turn to a reliever to try to get the final 3 outs. 13-1. We'll be right back. Bases loaded for the Blue Colts. They're down by plenty, but they can potentially take the mercy rule away and keep this game going as Jake Gracie, the batter, and he takes a strike. Gary Perrone try to get the final 3 outs. Brookdale 13, Middlesex 1. Gracie took over behind the plate in the last inning and is in an 0-2 hole. 3 hits and 15 at-bats this season. That's a 200 average. Lefty to lefty with an 0-2. High pop on the infield. Shortstop Lopez has it. 1 out. So 1 out without a run scoring. Bases remain loaded. And Antonio Friedman out of the 9th spot in the order, a 2-for-2 day. So both teams' number 9 batters, as this one is behind him, a run trying to score and will without a play. As Rodriguez scores, everyone else moves up a base now to 2nd and 3rd, and it's 13-2. Fouled off, ball and strike. The number 9 hitters on both sides, and there's not been a single time that they've been kept off the base. Sheehan for Brookdale and Friedman for the Blue Colts. Able to lay off a pitch down, 2 balls and a strike. Ledesma and Drury are the base runners in scoring position, and dropped by Andrews, ball 3. So a base hit would make the deficit inside 10 runs, and thus this game would continue. Brookdale would have a chance to end it in the bottom of the 7th by scoring again. And that will load him up again on a walk. Oh, Brett Lukacek, all 3 times has hit the ball on the ground. He's 0 for 3, facing the lefty Perone. Another one in the dirt. Andrews does well to keep it in front. Perone has already uncorked 1 wild one that cost him a run. Trying to maintain the double-digit lead. Fastball finds the outside part of the plate. Lined over short, that's a base hit into left center and will score at least 1. Ledesma scores. Here comes Drury. He's in. It's a 2-run single for Brett Lukacek, and that makes it 13-4. And so we're not done yet. Drew Lukacek next. And he's gone 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and takes a letter-high fastball for a strike. So Perone has allowed all 3 inherited runners to score in the inning. Those runs will go on the ledger of Barham, who allows 4 over 6 innings plus. Pretty good outing all in all. There's a strike. Gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 4, in line for the win. 1-2 pitch, runner in motion. It's out of the strike zone. The throw and got him. Now the throw to the plate and he's out. And how about that? A double play. A caught stealing at second. They get the run trying to score at the plate. Middlesex keeps the game alive by scoring 3. Brookdale will have a chance to end it in the bottom of the 7th, now leading 13-4. Bottom of the 7th inning, Brookdale has a chance to end it. They lead 13-4. Shane Andrews to lead it off. He's been on base all 4 times today. Facing Michael Canavesio now for the first time, who deals outside 1-0. Andrews has walked, been twice hit by a pitch, then last time up got his first hit of the day, a single. And it's 2-0. Malik Little, Junior Nunez scheduled to follow in the inning. Another big offensive day, although for Brookdale, 13 runs is just average. Ball 3 without a strike. Taking all the way, and he's on with a 4-pitch walk. So make it 5 straight times on base. Only one of them was a hit. Malik Little, he's been on twice, one with a hit, a first-inning double that produced a pair. 1-0. Brookdale doesn't lose often here at home, and coming off a doubleheader in which they lost twice against Northampton, second one that they blew a pretty big lead. There's a strike, and they want to make it right today against another good team. They've come out with another big day with the bats. Little just touched it at the plate, a foul ball. 1-2. Nunez on deck. Andrews, the run at first. If he scores, that'll do it. Two pitch. Full count. So Canavesio will come with a payoff. Little walks. For Brookdale, they could just stand up there, and if they never see a strike, well, that's one way to end it. And Junior Nunez, 1 for 4. Base hit back in the first, was caught stealing. He struck out twice. So 1 for 4 brings his average down, comes in over 500. He's bunting and fouled it. Brookdale has a couple in the top 5 leaderboard in batting average. Nunez along with Pizzuti. Pizzuti recently named Player of the Week in the conference. First baseman Acquisto crashes in on a pitch in the dirt. Canavesio struggling to throw strikes. (13-4) is the Brookdale lead, last of the 7th. Another bunt attempt. Back to the mound. Going to be a tough play. Canavesio has no play. He stumbled. He didn't get a throw off. And now the bases are loaded. So R.J. Kernan can send us out of here. Andrews representing the run that would end it in a 9-run game. Infield in, nobody out in the frame. Kernan takes ball 1. Andrews, Little, and Nunez all on the bases. On the ground, grabbed by Acquisto, throws home in time. So they had the force at the plate with the bases loaded. Acquisto alertly getting the out at the plate. So the bases remain loaded with now 1 away. And Anthony Martino will try to put on the finishing touch. A 1 for 4 day for the second baseman. Infield in. And a good stop by Gracie behind the plate. So Little now represents the run that would end this ball game. 13-4 the score. And the pitch is there for a strike. Swing and a miss, or maybe got a piece, but it's strike 2 nonetheless. Canavesio would like a strikeout. It would pass the baton to Casey Gardner. A ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Low outside. Another stop by Gracie. On a 2-2, Martino with a swing. Ground ball to short by him into the outfield, and it's over. In the score is Little. And Anthony Martino on a ground ball that goes through the wickets of Ledesma scores the 14th run to make it a 10-run Brookdale win, and that wraps it up. 14-4 the final. The Jersey Blues triumph to start the 3-game series. They'll play 2 at Middlesex tomorrow. And we'll see you again soon here on Brookdale TV with home games coming up. So we thank you for joining us. With thanks to Sergei Kornienko, I'm Brian Gadsward. We'll play the victory song as Brookdale gets the win, 14-4. So long from Lincroft.